Hi, my name is Nathan, and today we're going to do a comic book review of Carnage, issue number 1, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. Now, at the end of this video, I will announce the winner of this Carnage giveaway. So be sure to stick around to the very end. And also, right here at Rated Comics, we do comic book giveaways with the occasional comic book giveaway. But let's get into it. A little backstory before we get into this book is some years ago, the symbiote called Venom spawned an offspring, and that murderous bag of blood bonded to a serial killer named Cletus Cassidy. Though Cassidy's body has long since been destroyed, his mind and conscience endured in the symbiote hive mind, finally escaping in the body of Extrembio, a creature made of both symbiote biology and Tony Stark's technology. Now the hostless symbiote is on the hunt, but who or what is the Carnage symbiote after, and who will be the next victim? Now it gets murdery, and this is where we begin this issue. We begin this issue with Detective Jonathan Shade at a crime scene. An anonymous call came in and left the tip of an awful smell coming from an abandoned factory. Disgusting scene with officers vomiting before calling homicide. The detective recognizes a death scene. It's the artist. That's the name of the criminal, the artist. Unknown dude is hanging upside down with his own blood along with the empty canvas at the bottom. It's the artist not because of the canvas at the bottom, that's pretty generic. It's the artist because of the meticulous setup. The guy hanging upside down is wearing a fur coat in an abandoned fur factory. The blank canvas has him confused at first. Then Detective Shade realizes it's because the scene of the crime is not done yet. Despite the stomach of the victim being sewn shut, something inside is trying to get out. Dude, I'm feeling the vibe of this despite Carnage not making an entrance yet. Numerous amounts of butterflies emerge from inside the victim, leaving everyone in confusion. It would appear the crime scene is now finished now that the canvas has been splattered with the victim's blood. How murderously meticulous is this? Is this even a word? Is that even a word? I don't know. To add to the officer's confusion, why would the artist go through the trouble of the murder without calling the press? So now the real question is, who is the artist really doing this for? If he's not trying to get all this attention, he's got to be doing it for somebody, right? Turns out the artist's real name is Kenneth Neely. Mr. Speakman is his next victim, tied up Dexter style. For anyone who watched that show on Showtime, if you never did, well, Mr. Speakman is not in a very good position right now. And Kenneth Neely begins to go into a backstory about his dad. For over 40 years, the man was a mortician, a very good one. He spent his days making the dead more beautiful than they ever had been in real life. He worked for the city, so he got all the worst cases, prison beatings, murders, horrible accidents. So when he was a boy, his dad would take him to work and he'll watch him do the whole day of cleaning, stitching, sewing up bullet pulls and all that. And I'd ask him, Daddy, why do you spend so much time making the dead look beautiful? Why? His dad would respond, why would they care? They're dead. I mean, the guy's just muffling with tape around his mouth, you know? Now, you think he'd say he was doing it for the families or because he felt some sense of duty toward the dead, but no. You know what he said to me? He said to me, Kenny, my dear boy, all things must be beautiful in the kingdom of God. He died of leprosy when he was 63, and he puts a syringe on this brother's stomach and all this blood just spurts out. And it's just like, dude, gory, scary, tension building. You know what? It's just crazy. So Ken tells him because of his dad's speech, he is driven by all things must be beautiful in the kingdom of God. But I have to let out your own blood. And in death, Mr. Speakman, in glorious and transformative death, I will make you beautiful. But I don't do this for your God or my father's, what they do know beauty. I've been calling to see him, you know? So he's been calling out to Carnage. So now we know through his storytelling, he's doing these crime scenes to get Carnage's attention because he wants to be the next host of Carnage. Carnage takes notice and he's like, you've been a busy boy, Kenneth. And his Carnage's like, are you really calling my name, Ken? Did your mother ever tell you stories about calling terrible things by their name? Or are you a fan? So now back in the hospital, John Shade gets this report that EMTs brought back Dave Speak and found him half naked on the corner of Belvedere. He bled out, but they stabilized him. He's still in the bad way. There's some stuff he was trying to say, and I think he escaped the attack of the killer. So if you want to interrogate him so you can get your answers. So Jonathan Snake goes in, and the guy, Mr. Speak, was like, I don't remember much. I lost a lot of blood. He used a scalpel on me, and he was talking about his father, how he said he died of leprosy, which is pretty rare. Detective Jonathan Snake's like, well, that's very useful, Mr. Speaker. What else did he say? Anything else you can remember? Who else was there? The devil was there, detective, in the flesh, and he kept asking the devil to take him. And we go back to the flashback of the conversation with Carnage and Kenneth Neely, and he asked Carnage to take him as a host, and Carnage is like, you know, you're such a little deviant, but Cletus was special. Without him, things have changed. I've changed. But since you've been such a fan of showing me your work and your journey, let me show you mine. So yeah, I guess Carnage has manners now, because he tells Kenneth Neely that you've gone to lengths to follow me around and show me your work. I guess it would be rude for me not to show you mine. So Carnage brings him somewhere where he has Hydro Man tied up and he thinks it's beautiful. And he tells Hydro Man to stretch him, push him through the limits. I'm not sure what he's trying to do to Hydro Man, you know? But he says it's beautiful because there's a beauty locked within you, Morris. All I have to do is reach in, way down to the essence of what this Hydro Man is, and bond to the molecules and the atoms that make him up. I still don't know what is going on here. I am not sure, but I would love to hear your guys' theories in the comment section. And don't worry, I am not going to give away this entire comic book because there's another story at the end of this comic book. There's another 8 to 10 page series, backstory of Carnage, which I'm going to save for the winner and for you guys in case you do decide to purchase this comic book. Link in description, by the way. So Carnage tells him, you see, Kenneth, I am no longer bound by the trappings and yearnings of Cletus Cassidy or any man. All that torture and pain and flesh and blood, I admit I enjoyed it, but that was Cletus' preoccupation. We each have our own obsessions. I am yours and you are probably someone else's. And we see Detective Shade saying we have a name, Kenneth Lilly, and we're looking at the patterns here. There's a pattern here, but we don't know yet, but he's getting close to it. So Carnage continues to tell, I want to escape these meager ambitions, Kenneth. I'm going to find my own means, my own beauty, and this is just the first step. So tell me, Kenneth, why would I bond myself to another host? Kenneth wants Carnage to bond with him. That's why he called it his attention. But Carnage is like, I don't want to bond with nobody. So what is his plans with Hydro Man? Now, in my opinion, I think Carnage Forever delivers both a great standalone horror story as well as an intriguing setup for the character's future. I thought maybe he was going to look for another host, maybe another deadlier host than Cletus Cassidy, but I think it's very smart that Carnage is going a different way and it's still left ambiguous. I would say this story is good enough for even horror fans not interested in Carnage, and you may want to give this book a look. Once again, link in description. But with that being said, let's get into the winner of this Carnage comic book giveaway. We did a random wheel spin online of all the names who enter new subscriber, old subscriber in the giveaway. Let's see who won. Congratulations, Chuck, and thanks again for entering and subscribing. In order to claim your prize and for us to mail your comic book or your Carnage issue number 1 to you, all I need you to do is go onto any one of our socials, our Facebook, our TikTok, or our Instagram, and DM us or message us your preferred address where to mail your Carnage number 1 comic book at. And also, I gotta do another comic book giveaway. Preferably, I like to do issue number 1 so it's easier to get in and follow with it. So comment below, let me know what you guys think the next comic book giveaway should be. Hey, you know, we're at Rated Comics, we just show you some love like that. And if that's something that's interesting or something we can do, I'll run it up the food chain and we'll get it going. But with that being said, here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, and congratulations on the comic book winner.